I'm Tyler Bosard. I train out at Gracie Barra Brownsville and McAllen. Get together. Turn my mask on. My white lines right. Let's check. A friend I was working with named Andrew Koppel suggested it to me. My first instructor was Clay Pittman in Lubbock, Texas. After I left Lubbock, when I graduated college, I moved to Brazil. I lived in Brazil for a year. After that, I moved back to the States. I trained in Dallas with Master Carlos Machado. Then after that, actually I moved to the Caribbean for a couple years. Then after I came to the Caribbean, moved back to Houston. Then I moved here. I ended up in Brownsville. I got transferred down here for work. Work was supposed to be an 8-month project. I've been here almost 10 years now. So after that, I figured, after it was determined that I was going to be here longer than 8 months, after my second year here, I decided to try to open up my own school under Professor Dracolino. The jiu-jitsu scene down here in the valley is growing substantially. Versus when I first got here in 2005, there wasn't even any brown belts here. Now there's half a dozen black belts in the valley. There's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 or 5 that are homegrown that are originally from the valley here. So it's grown substantially in the number of schools, in the number of students, in the quality of jiu-jitsu, and the quality of the competitions that are down here now. In the late 90s, early 2000s, there was only 2 tournaments a year in Texas. You had Texas Open and the Winter Wars, which were both hosted by Carlos Machado. So the great thing about that was everybody would train all year long for those 2 events. Now there's events every single weekend, and it seems that the events, because there's so many, people have the option of going to so many. So they don't train, everybody doesn't train for the same tournament. So they're all spread out. So the number of competitors at the tournaments over years has declined because there is so many opportunities for different tournaments. If they miss this one, I'll just go to the next one. Versus 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago, there was maybe 3 or 4 a year. So everybody prepared for those and prepared hard for them. Now they have them every weekend. They're like, I'll do the next one. No, I'll do the next one. I'll do the next one. So the tournaments get watered down is probably not the word to use, but there's fewer competitors out of them. When I first started jiu-jitsu, it was very smash mouth, very pressure oriented, very here I come, try to stop me. Now it's changed a little bit more into a little more diverse and a little more creative. Is it wrong? Is it right? It's creativity, man. That's the beautiful thing about jiu-jitsu. It's creativity is what helps define your character or your style in your own jiu-jitsu. Am I a big fan of the big bearing bolos, worm guard, and stuff like that? No, but it's cool to watch. It's cool to play with. It's not my cup of tea, but I don't find anything wrong with it. It's just the evolution of the sport. People are getting more creative. People are getting more diverse. They're having more fun with it. That's what happens. That's what happens.
Okay, hook the leg. Very important. Hook the leg. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. I'm going to use my shoulder to take him down. Whenever he does this, remember kind of.
I surround myself with good people. I got great guys, and they're sitting around hanging out, laughing. If you can't have fun doing what you're enjoying doing, you're not gonna continue doing it. But mostly it's just kind of my personality, man. If you take yourself too serious, you never get out alive. Combinations with Ebonseo Nagi. When you go for the Ebonseo Nagi, you kind of place himself hard on that foot. That foot's base, it's easy to go to that hook. So, like one will do it. I try to provide, I try to establish a happy, fun environment for people to come train. Alright guys, that's enough of that shit. Some people, I've got guys that come in here, they do technique, never trained around in their life. They enjoy the camaraderie. They enjoy sitting around talking with the guys, past experiences, just enjoy the camaraderie. Some people enjoy the hard-nosed training that we do for competition classes. Some guys like the aspect of the self-defense, that jiu-jitsu is very practical. Jiu-jitsu is a never-long pursuit. I know it sounds kind of cliche to say, but it's an investment. It's not something that you're going to pick up in a day. It's something you pick up in a week, in a month, in a year. I've learned more in the last since I've got my black belt, the last 6 years and then 10 years it took me to get it. The message I can give is just don't give up, man. Don't stop. There's going to be times where, like yesterday, I was in there training with my guys, and they were just giving me hell. I'm like, what's going on here? You're going to have those days, but it's how you react to those bad days that make the good days even better. It's something that takes constant training. Constant training in order to develop and to advance. You can't put it down for 2 months and come back to it, put it down for 2 months. Because what happens, it's like reading a book. You read a book, you put it down for a month, you come back to it. What do you have to do? You have to go back a few chapters to kind of refresh what you've already read. It's just the same way. If you keep putting it down, all you're doing is constantly refreshing what you've already read. I'd like to thank all my students and staff that I have around me. Like I said, I've had the luxury. I've been blessed with great people that help, great students. All the great people that I've surrounded myself with. I can't thank them enough.